connecting you to our community. 11 Connects. Welcome to 11 Connects. I'm your host, Jen Lennon. Today I'm joined by Janet Duncan. She is the CEO of Duncan Accounting and Tax. Janet, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so my first question, you might be new to some of our viewers. You visited with us once before, but how in the world do you end up with a tax service with your name on it? Because I'm going to say that's never anything that would happen to me. You must love numbers.
I do. I like numbers. I like people more.
Okay. Fair statement.
So I got into doing taxes and accounting. It works in my brain, but the people aspect and being able to help people on something that is so scary and overwhelming is really what it makes me happy.
Well, it is intimidating. You know, it's intimidating to me. I know it's intimidating to a lot of the population. So having a person to deal with is super helpful.
Yes.
And I'm sure if you learn about me, you can help me find ways to save and make sure I'm doing everything right.
Absolutely. So when people come into my office, I'm asking them about themselves, about their lives. You know, do you have kids? Are you in college? And I'm asking questions, and the whole time I'm running through everything that I know about taxes. How can I help you maximize your credits and your deductions? Do you have a business? Oh, you know, your type of business has this type of expense. I don't see it. Go find it for me so that I can present you with the best scenario. And, you know, regardless of whether you owe or you get a refund, it's got everything that I know about you and your paperwork, and it's all there.
And let's talk about that knowledge. You're what's called an enrolled agent. So explain the difference between an enrolled agent and a CPA to me.
So an enrolled agent is I'm federally licensed by the United States Treasury. I took a series of exams that focus strictly in tax. Versus a CPA who also has the same rights to practice before the IRS, and they took a series of exams, but their knowledge is more broad in business functions and structures. So
auditing, corporations, things like that, but
yes.
All your studies were just taxes.
Just tax, just tax, individual, business.
So that's all you do, taxes, every day of the year?
Yes, yes, all year long. And then I'm representing clients when it's not tax season.
Okay, if those letters come in the mail and from the IRS, we're like, what do we do now? We can just bring them to you.
Yeah, don't even open the envelope, just bring them to me.
We don't even have to look inside. So things that we need to know this year, I know things are always changing, and that's where you're staying updated on your continuing education. I know a couple of things. I was saying that I already printed out my 1098 for my college student, but you're saying I need even more than that.
Right. Go get a printout from the bursar's office for those additional line items, you know, books, student fees. Not all of those things show up on those 1098s, and so you want to make sure that you maximize that credit.
Yep, and standard deductions are different this year, so we may or may not qualify?
Exactly. I'm seeing very few people who are qualifying to take an itemized deduction, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. People think that just because they lost that itemized deduction, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to owe. That's not the case. That's not what I'm seeing so much. It's just different. And
more due diligence to prove that you do deserve the dependent credits and the education credits,
the earned income credits, the head of household deduction, or filing, you know, you have to prove, because there's a lot of fraud around those deductions, and you know, a few bad apples ruined it for the rest of us.
So more documentation is required as the years go on. So that's where having someone like you,
exactly,
you can get us through all the tangles, make it simple. Best way to get an appointment?
Give our office a call at 719-426-2876, and we'll get you in right away.
Fantastic. Thanks, Janet.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.